stay the same, don't you?
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is MAZIDAH binti OMAR and I am from BA1143A. So today, my groupmates and I are going to present about macroeconomic issues during COVID-19 pandemic. So, for the introduction, as we all already know, in December 2019, all countries in the world were shocked by an outbreak virus that started from China country, which is named by COVID-19. The COVID-19 has caused a big impact on economic sector for all countries around the world. For example, many countries are having an unemployment crisis, not having a better quality of life, unequitable distribution of income, and so on.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello, my name is binti Azli, and for today's video I am going to talk about the first macroeconomic issue, which is to achieve full employment. So full employment is a situation where all the economic factors are fully utilized. All economy are trying to achieve this full employment level because it shows the efficiency in utilizing all the economic resources. However, in this pandemic of COVID-19, we can see that we are not achieve the full employment level because it is one of the most significant impacts during the pandemic of COVID-19. We have seen a significant increase in the unemployment rate. We can see the unemployment rate increased from 3.3% in February of 2020 to 3.9% in the year 2020. We can see not so big gap of the percentage, but in the real life you can see it is a big impact of the pandemic COVID-19 in the employment rate. So Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) is projecting the unemployment rate to be increased to 4% at the end of the year 2020. So based on Malaysian Employees Federation (MEF), we can see that they having research that they say that 2 million Malaysians may lose their job in the year 2020. While Malaysian Institute of Economic Research did their research, they say that 1.5 million to 2.4 million jobs may be lost in the year 2020. In addition, the country's economic recovery can be seen with a decline. The unemployment rate to 47%, or 745,100 unemployed in July 2020, a decrease of 28,000 unemployed compared to June. So there are 5 listed sectors that I have been listed in this slide, which is these sectors are in crisis during the pandemic of COVID-19. So the first one is travel and tourism. The second one is wholesale and retail. The third one is construction. The fourth is manufacturing, and the last one is agriculture. So I hope that the government is implement a new project to help these sectors gain their profit even more in the year of 2021.
My name is NURIN di ROSLI, and I would like to present about the price stability in Malaysia. The Malaysian Consumer Price Index (CPI) figures for May show the price falling by 2.9% year-on-year for the second month running. This is the sharpest drop in 50 years. This reinforces the expectation of mounting deflationary pressure on consumer item price, as Malaysians have to tighten their belts to spend prudently since the global COVID-19 pandemic is taking a heavy toll on economies on many fronts. In view of that, economists are forecasting deflation this year compared with an inflation rate of 0.7% in 2019. This was due to the drop in price of transport, housing, water, electricity, and fuel, according to the Statistics Department today. Nonetheless, Malaysia is not the rare one which is experiencing deflation. It is an emerging global trend following the outbreak of COVID-19.
Hello, so my name is NUR'AIMAN. I am one of the one of the group members in my group. So today I would like to talk about two things, which is economic growth and better quality of life in economics. So first, we are going to talk about economic growth. The growth of domestic product, which is known as GDP of Malaysia, is projected to rise between 6.5% and 7.5% in 2021, following a contraction of 4.5% in 2020 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Next, the expected improvement in global growth and international trade will be driving force of a strong turnaround in GDP growth. The impact of the government's stimulus package is projected to have spillover effects and provide the economy with an extra boost in 2021. The upbeat outlook relies on two key factors: the successful management of the pandemic and the continued recovery of external demand. The solid economic fundamentals of the nation and a well-diversified economy will further foster its economic development. Related to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Malaysian economy shrank 8.3% in the first half of 2020, with a fall of 17.1% in second quarter. As you can see at the graph that I provide, it is estimated that the COVID-19 government stimulus package would add more than 4 percentage points to GDP growth. All four packages, including fiscal and non-fiscals, amount to RM305 billion, of 21% of the national gross domestic profit (GDP). The domestic economy will return to a more prosperous course of development as the nation recovers from the effects of COVID-19.
Imbalance of payment. In the second quarter of this year, Malaysian current account balance (CAB) continued to record a surplus of 7.6 billion ringgit despite the global economic uncertainties and continuous spread of COVID-19. The surplus in CAB was mainly contributed by net export in goods of 25.9 billion ringgit and a lower deficit in secondary income at 1.9 billion ringgit. Imports of goods dropped at a faster pace as compared to the decline in export, resulting in a favorable performance of overall goods account. In addition, secondary income reached the lowest deficit as the number of foreign workers declined in this quarter that led to leisure money sent abroad. Meanwhile, financial account continued to register a net outflow of 19.8 billion ringgit in the second quarter this year. The predominant contributor was other investment with net outflow of 41.3 billion ringgit from net inflow of 22.1 billion ringgit in the first quarter of 2020. This reflected mainly on net interbank lending abroad by the domestic financial sector.
Next, I am going to present about equitable distribution of income. As we know, Malaysia have an equitable distribution of income since 2016 to 2019. It is shown based on the chart given that there is an improvement on both mean and median household income of Malaysia. Survey findings also showed that income threshold for the B40 group in 2019, comprising 2.91 million households, was 4,849. The M40 group's income threshold involving 2.91 million households was between 4,850 to 10,959. Also, there were 1.46 million households in T20 group with income more than 10,960. In terms of income distribution, the T20 constitute 46.8% of total household income as compared to 46.2% in 2016. Moreover, the M40 group had 33.7.2%, while the B40 only covered 16.0% of total income, decreased from 16.4% in 2016. However, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major economic impact on Malaysia, particularly on its vulnerable households, with less than 1% of Malaysian households living in extreme poverty. According to the official national poverty line, this is because the government's focus has shifted toward addressing the well-being of the poorest 40% of the population. Besides, this low-income group remains particularly vulnerable to economic shocks as well as increases in the cost of living and mounting financial obligations. Other than that, Malaysia's near-term economic outlook will be more dependent than usual on government measures to sustain private sector activity as the shock of COVID-19 reduces export-led growth and as a depleted fiscal space limits public investment-led expansion. Last but not least, to fully realize its human potential and fulfill the country's aspiration of achieving the high income and developed country status, Malaysia will need to advance further in education, health and nutrition and social protection outcomes.
Next, I would like to talk about better quality of life. The economic slowdown was expected to cause over 2 million Malaysians to lose their job due to the coronavirus pandemic. As you know, all over the world, we are now fighting with the pandemic COVID-19. Many of people lose their job. One of my family members also lose their job, so they cannot go to work, don't have any income. So the quality of life now is going down because of that. We don't have any good things any income to give to our family and so on. Early among 5,000 Malaysians the following months, revealing 44% of candidates claiming unhappiness towards their quality of life. As can we see, many of the people right now in the world is unhappy because they cannot do anything to make income, to take care of their family, to give their family food. Pre-COVID times, 77% of the workforce surveyed said they were happy with their quality of life. This number has decreased to only 35% after MCO. So, what the initiative that we can do is, our government do is, government introduce 2 billion, known as 467.3 million US dollar penjana, known as Penjana, initiative for skills development programs for youth and the unemployed, provide new skills for Malaysians and enable them to meet the demand of job markets and industry. Job Street step up to help the retrenched and the unemployed get back on their feet and ultimately improve their quality of life. candidates will be able to search for jobs that require little experience but still provide additional income. JobStreet also introduced the Work Now feature, which helps employers zero in on candidates who are immediately ready for hiring. So that's all from me.